Hello, 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 everyone. This is Monica Henderson, and I'm here with Mink Life Motivation Live, ready to help you get start actually expand yourself for more impact. I don't know how I missed this one. Anywho, today to help me craft the conversation about expanding impact, we have Andrea Gortz. She is a wellness thrive strategist with Wellbeing and Worth. She is also Mink Life Motivation Master Trainer and the Dean of Mink Life University. Andrea, how's it going, girl? Can't hear you.
Sorry about that. No, I was like, we're here. We got a lot going on. Like, I had my mic muted, but welcome. And I'm so looking forward to meeting our guest today. So,
Yay. Okay. And then also today to help us craft this conversation about expanding your impact is Peggy Mccarthy. She is the owner and photographer of Headshots by Peggy, of a headshot strategist and Mink Life motivation trainer of the Brand Builder. Peggy, what's up?
Hey, so good to be here.
Also, we have our first guest co-host, Daniel Mccrain, who is the business coach and also a dynamic speaker and is known as the
maestro of business.
The maestro of business. And we also have, it's okay. I'm not sure exactly why that's happening that way. But it's live TV, baby, live TV. And also we have Mccrain. She is the CEO and founder of Health Conscious Entrepreneur. She's a CPA. She is also tatted and learned how to drive a motorcycle. So we're going to dive into all of this and more about those fun facts about both of them. But the last co-host on the couch is you. You are here and available to actually chime in. So use that chat, chime in, tell us what you think. If you disagree, put it in there. If you agree, put it in there. If you just want to share your thoughts, feelings, emotions, put it in there. Questions, comments, rude remarks, put it in there. Hey, yo, because guess what? Just like yo, we will actually add your comments to the screen, just like that. So let's get this party started and dive into our topic today. But before we do that, let's hear a little bit more about this maestro of it all. What is that?
Well, all right. So my background actually is in music education, and really long story. I don't know if we have time or want to take the time to do it now, but I have moved into business coaching and consulting, yet a lot of friends have dubbed me the maestro of business because I help you orchestrate. I can orchestrate your business. We can have great harmony when everything is working together and humming along nicely, all on the same page in your business. And so you see me here. I'm in my studio. I've got a few instruments behind me here too.
I love that, Daniel. I totally love that. I was a student. Where do you live? At Peabody Conservatory. So that really, really works for me. Really, really does.
Awesome.
We can work together too, because I'm a CPA and we'll work some magic with the music.
Oh yes,
that's great.
Oh yes,
hey,
our audience is chiming in.
That.
Love that. Awesome. And then Knox, so let's learn a little bit more about this. This whole thing about you being tatted and learned how to ride a motorcycle. That doesn't sound very CPA-esque.
No, definitely not. Well, CPAs were very conservative, right? Introvert, office kind of mentality. But I've always been an outlier. I've always done interesting things to create my own business on the side while, in corporate world, had a tea business, jewelry business. And the tattoo idea was, it's just like, what? I want to be inspired to have a reminder of what my life is about. And so I have this tattoo from Hawaii. I went and next to my friend's shop in Hawaii, and there was this tattoo artist, and I drew up this tattoo of the tiger lily, and he drew it all up for me, and he tattooed on my back. So there's this big tattoo about the size on my back, and people are always surprised I have that. And then I also wanted to learn to ride a motorcycle. Why not? Right? So I went to take a motorcycle class. I passed the written test. And then when I learned to ride the motorcycle, the guy says, you know what? You should learn how to ride a bicycle first before you learn to ride a motorcycle. Yeah, I know how to manage the clutch and everything, but handling the, getting it balanced was kind of hard. It was heavy.
Oh my God.
I got to do it. So instead, I decided to get a convertible instead of a motorcycle. So
That's hilarious. That is freaking hilarious. So, we are going to dive into the topic today. And this segment is called Get Motivated. And so, as we are thinking about how to get motivated, the question for the group today is really, why is impact so important? Why is working in impact so important? And I want to start with our guest first. So we'll start with Daniel first. Why is having impact as an entrepreneur so important?
I think it has to do with the mission or the vision that the entrepreneur has chosen for their business. For me personally, I guess I'll talk about mine. I feel very strongly that small businesses are really what drives our economy. Small businesses are what help create community wherever we go. And when we're in large cities, especially, it gets really hard to connect with people. And having a sense of community, that sense of belonging, is really important for everyone who lives in that city. It's important for our well-being, for our mental health. It's important to be connected to other people. So small businesses are the ones who are creating the jobs. They're providing for their employees, which then provides for their families. So for me, having strong businesses and small businesses in the community is really important. So that's the impact that I go for every time I try to work with one of my clients. The same could be said for any other small business out there. Are you out there just to collect the paycheck? Is that really what you're doing? Or do you want to provide something of value and of service? And what is that impact? That's summed up in your vision statement or in your mission statement. Why does your business exist?
Yeah.
To me, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I 100% concur and agree. And I always say, if it is going to be the entrepreneurs who change the world, because we are in our communities closely connected to the causes and the things that are happening in our community. And we're going to be the ones to take chances on people. We're going to be the ones who understand the problems at a ground level. And so it really is so true. Nak, what about you? Why is creating this impact so important?
I couldn't agree more. I mean, I was in corporate for 23 years and in a corporate accounting job. I was impactful in everything I do for the company, but I felt like I wasn't impactful in my life in impacting other people's. And, for me, I had so much knowledge in doing my own business on the side, and then the CPA background and now the life insurance background. I can bring all that I know and impact somebody's lives from one generation to another. Not only this generation, but the future generation of that family, that kid, that child. If I was to teach financial literacy, just the information I give you, you will look at your life differently and you can see your life differently. And that just impacts so many people, right? So for sure, I mean, impact is very important. Everything we do as an entrepreneur, what we bring to the table for all the people that's around us.
Absolutely. Andrea, what about you? Like, why is impact so important as an entrepreneur?
I love the answers that our guests gave, because of one for community, and then one about the longevity of projecting into the future and affecting other generations. And we're out in the sense that I sometimes think entrepreneurs are those much needed quote outliers who embrace taking a passion or purpose and then infusing that into others that either help or to motivate and guide them to raise themselves up. And so all of the entrepreneurs that our guests just shared with me, like their passions, right? I know your passion, Monica. I know Peggy's passion. And I mean, as entrepreneurs, we're just passionate about this one specific thing that we are taking to quote the marketplace to enlighten, charm, engage others. So I think that impact, back to what Anouk said, was, you know what, and so did Daniel, said the same thing. Like, we really do need to go and inspire our clients to live in their agency, which is my big thing. Like, however that happens, to inspire people to build better, be connected, make our livelihood and our world better, is what's going to make being here on planet Earth for now worthwhile, right? Worthwhile, and having some sort of import. Why is it important? But you know what I mean? Like, it's totally, um, it's what fuels most entrepreneurs. But then hopefully we can kind of share that spark to affect the lives of others in each of the ways that we sort of help change the world. So impact is, again, I love Daniel. It's like your mission. It is. I mean, I was like, what do you mean? Like, we do what we do because we love it. And we're compelled to have someone see something in a different way. Like, for me, it's like people visioning their health is super important to me, and that tying their health to their innate wealth, right? Like, that's not a conversation we have. So I think we're all conversation starters too. Like, knowing that we can shift people perspective is, I think, our gift to share with others. And so that impact, right?
Yeah. Peggy?
I think my answer to the question may be a different question, and that is, why are entrepreneurs so impactful? And I think that is because we are the people that are part of the community. A big business can come in, and yes, you can get your toilet paper cheaper at Costco than you can at the local market. But the local market knows your kid. The local market knows what's going on, and they have their fingers on the pulse of the community. So what we do is more impactful, and we need to take responsibility and realize what an impact we can have on our community. Because if we want to change the world, it starts with changing our home, changing our family, changing our community, and that just goes on and on and on. So we need to really embrace the impact that we have.
Yeah, I love all of the things that you guys have said. And one of the things that I think sometimes we forget is we are not just here. Just here. I was born, I did stuff, I die. Like that is not why we are all here. We are all here to make our mark on this world and to embark on a journey that actually improves the lives of others, and improves and helps us learn through that process. And so the reason why impact is so important, especially to consider as an entrepreneur, is really because you want to die and everyone to realize that you not only were there, but that you actually made a difference, that you were actually here and you pushed the marker a little to make the world a little bit better. And entrepreneurs, like everyone has said here, are uniquely positioned to do that, uniquely positioned to really create an impact, because we, just like Peggy said, we are in our communities and can do something different. Daniel talking about our mission statement being a direct part of, about how we're going to move forward in the world, and not sharing about like how all of the things, that all of her skills and talents and things that she's picked up along the way allow her to create impact. And Andrea talking about agency, like all of those things, every last one of those things really contribute to the ability to create impact as an entrepreneur. So the interesting part about impact and really kind of creating impact as an entrepreneur is sometimes we get so far in the weeds in our businesses, right? That, or kind of driving along, like I have to make a profit and I have to actually pay these bills and I have to do the stuff from my life, and the kids or the spouses or the siblings or the parents, or all the things, the loudness, the clutter in the world, that sometimes we forget that we are here for that particular impact. And one of the things that I love about doing this show is we get to really kind of share our own experiences of how we've been able to do things in hopes that we will keep people encouraged and moving forward. And this segment is what we call it's called Staying Inspired. And really, we want to share our journey. And so the question that I have for the group is, share one way that you have focused your life to be more impactful. So one way that you have shared, you have changed your life and business in order to be more impactful. And this time we'll start with not.
I think for me, it's the money mindset. That has been very important. I was a CPA in corporate, like I said, for many years, but my money mindset was not as open as I thought it was. I was taught to save in 401k plans, and I never looked beyond that. I never looked beyond other avenues of, besides stock, where there's risk, or even 401k, there's risks and there's fees, and that, you're gambling with your money, not understanding that taxes are going to go up, or the way the savings are. And so what I have learned is I've learned to look at money differently. Like the way I see money is differently. The way I strategize my money is differently. Where there's insurance program that you can put your money in there with cash accumulation. So there's different strategies of tax deductions that I know, but I haven't really looked beyond what is a CPA realm, right? And that's where a lot of even the people in CPAs were not seeing beyond what we should see, and how we can help support our clients better in showing them a different way of looking at our money. So what I have changed for me is my money mindset. And that's important. That's allowed me to shift from working for someone in the corporate world to now creating my own multiple streams of income. And now I have multiple business running at the same time, and I'm able to manage it. And I get to teach people how to make money, how to save money, how to protect their money, how to get rid of debt, and then how to plan for the unplanned. So for me, that whole mindset shift of money has been very impactful for me, and the things that I've been teaching people.
Yeah, I know that resonates a little bit with Andrea.
Yep. I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to get her off screen. Like, I'm like, note 2. Fine.
Yeah. So for me, like the CPA was important, and also having a life insurance now is where I'm learning about life insurance. I never looked at. I know about it, but there's so many strategies that we don't understand. There's living benefits behind that we can protect our families, and also have a cash accumulation possibility that was never taught, that were never shared with us, until you really look at it and someone sits down and explain to you all these components that's missing in your life. So I add that on as another strategy for my money mindset.
Oh yeah. Maestro. I bet that's music to your ears.
Oh, that's me. Oh, sorry. I just kind of got caught up in what Knock was saying there.
I know, you're like,
Say more.
I know, right?
Let's see. So how have I focused what I do? This is kind of interesting. I was kind of contemplating this question a little bit, and I think that for me, there's kind of been both that's happened. There's been a little bit of focus, but there's been a little bit of expansion lately as well. So when I answer this question, so throughout the evolution of my career, everything that I've done has really focused on trying to make people's lives better and more enjoyable. And I know others out there kind of feel the same way. You may do something completely different. I know that a lot of health and wellness people who are out there feel that they're trying to make the lives of others better. And so that's really what I wanted to do when I became a music teacher. I wanted to improve life of my students through my art form, which was music. So then when life took a turn on me unexpectedly, I found that I was able to still keep that core of who I am the same through everything that I've done. So I spent some time in corporate training, and then it really became about helping the frontline workers, the people who are actually doing the frontline jobs, the client facing jobs, trying to make their lives more successful and more productive so they could feel better about doing their job. So same kind of a focus there. Shift that now to small business owners, and what I'm really focusing on, what I love to see is I love to see that look of relief on the face of a small business owner when they realize, hey, we can increase revenue, we can increase profit, we are going to be able to make payroll this month. That's a huge thing for a lot of small business owners. But beyond that, we'll be able to expand. We could actually add a couple more positions here. I can afford to do that now, and I can relieve some of the workload of my current team members that I've got in the business. So that focus for me has always been there, about trying to make other people's lives better. And, to put it a different way, then, if we were to focus on what's the core service or something that I offer, it's kind of interesting there. Based on the responses that I've been getting and the requests I've been getting from a lot of my clients, I'm kind of expanding services, but it still comes back to that one focused resonance all the way throughout, trying to make life easier for those small business owners.
Oh yeah.
Talk so like an instrumentalist. Focus resonance. Oh my God. I was a wind player, so I'm like, he is such a horn player. I'm geeking out over here, but anyway.
I know, like she's flanked by like hashtag dream conversations on the screen right now. For sure, Peggy. What about you? How have you actually kind of really focused your life and business on impact?
So I'm going to go on the woohoo side of this. When the pandemic hit, my business, like, I didn't see any paying clients for 9 months at all, because I'm a very face to face, no mask kind of a situation. I mean, I can wear a mask, but obviously my clients can't. And also Mary, pretty much neither one of us did any work. And so we really decided to refocus what we did, what we can do. And our main principles, our main goals is to empower, encourage, and educate people. And so when we decided to separate what we did for a living and money, and we said, let's focus on doing those things and not worry about the money side of it. Like, that's going to be up to the universe to figure out how to get the money to us. I am not in any way saying don't plan, don't be wise with your money. I'm just saying that sometimes when you focus on all of the planning and all of the saving and all of this and all of this, that you forget that your purpose in life is to impact your world around you. So we didn't throw that away. We, invested, and we were very smart with what we had, but we put all of our energy and focus on how can we, in this world that we live in, empower, encourage, and educate people, whether they can pay us or not. What can we do to impact our world around us? And we're just going to have to trust that everything else we're doing is going to take care of the financial side of it. So that's my woohoos for the day. It's still with money mindset.
Oh yeah.
What's your priority?
Yeah, I always say money follows excellence, and that was really kind of what you guys leaned into. Andrea, what about you? How did you kind of focus your life and business on creating impact?
I love this question because I have been doing a lot of soul searching of late about my business and what can I offer and how those offerings should look. And really, COVID, as much as it was, to Peggy's point, changed the whole ball game on how I, quote, remunerated myself. I really got to dig deep and really think about what would I do anyway? Like, what was I already doing for free that could somehow be, if possible, monetized? and would speak to me in a joyful way. And so creating the ability to talk to groups through classes was a big shift for me because I didn't have that. And so that was big, like my reach could be so expanded because it was gone from being one to one. I was working one to many. And I really had an opportunity to flush that out and speak on things that I really like and that I think really help people. So that would be the big shift for me was, all right, well, here we are. We're home. What can I do to keep myself and my mind uplifted and in that process affect the lives of others? And so my business really birthed itself to be an online, virtually held business because of COVID, way more than it was when we were in person. So that shift opened up my business to so many more possibilities and my life and the people and this show we're doing is part of that whole renaissance that
Yeah.
that went because Monica and I were like, well, we can't do this thing in person anymore. What are we going to do? And so the discovery of all of you, like you are here because Monica and I were like, well, what's that thing called Zoom? Now there's Zoom, Restream, Yardstream, whatever stream. There's so many things. Like if we think about the concentration of development and like connection we have now because of COVID, like it's surreal. Like if you told me 24 months ago that I would know people all over the world and regularly talk to them just because I had things to do with them, I would have looked at you like you were crazy. Like that was like a pipe dream. And now I'm like, I don't have a business unless I do that. So, yeah, that
Yeah.
was really being stumped by circumstance and creating. That's what Peggy and I are buddies. No, you want to know how because we're all like, well, we're here online. Let's get to know each other. Like, it really, I know people are like, you're a little too joyful in this pandemic. I'm like, I feel like my world is expanded tenfold. So it's been the saving grace, very
Yeah.
much the saving grace.
I mean, literally, this pandemic has been, uh, it has required us. So I always joked, especially at the beginning of the pandemic, I would say, we all got sent on a global timeout. We've been sent to our rooms to think about what we've done with our lives and how we're going to leave timeout better than we went in, and what are we going to do different. And I think what the pandemic did for me was help me understand this concept of impact that much more, because I knew I wanted to make my mark on the world. I knew I wanted to make the world a better place. And from the time I was 12, the word muse was my word, because I thought, well, I just have to inspire greatness in other people. And when I inspire greatness in other people, they will go out and change the world. But what my mission has always been is to figure out how to do that. And I think that the pandemic gave me like literally laser focus on like, okay, this is exactly how you do it. And I'm pointing to you because this thing of coming to you on video, I mean, Andrea will tell you literally every week that we did this, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe we're doing this. Why are we doing this? I don't want to do this.
Oh,
Oh, it's so annoying, right? I don't want to. I don't want to talk in front of people. And although you see me a lot, and they seem charismatic, and I'm this. I am an introvert, and I struggle with social anxiety. And so the mere thought of being this out on a regular basis absolutely is chaos to me. But the amount of impact that I can do by just coming on weekly and sharing amazing minds that I connect with from all over the world, in my day to day runnings creates such an impact that it's bigger than me. It's bigger than my annoyance and anxiety on being out. It's bigger than all of that. And so for me, it really has focused my energy, and it has allowed me to create things that truly make an impact in people's lives for the better. And that impact, just like a bomb, right? When you drop a bomb somewhere, there is a ripple effect that comes outward and can be felt for thousands and thousands and thousands of miles in all kinds of effects. It affects the air, it affects the water, it affects the ground, all of the people and animals and trees. It affects everybody and everything from that seismic blast that happens with impact. And so this pandemic, although has been incredibly saddening and tragic because we've lost so many lives, we get to take the sacrifice of all of those people who have lost their lives through this pandemic, and we get to turn that into an amazing amount of impact so that those people who have lost their lives and who are not here to live daily the best versions of themselves, we can look at them and say, I'm going to live my best version of myself because you couldn't do it for yourself. And so for me, that is the ultimate in really showing up with impact. So I hope our stories have helped you stay inspired. And I would like to know if you are watching right now and you want to share what kind of impact you have created in your own life and business, whether it's right now you're watching it live with us or you're watching it as a replay. Please share. We would love to hear what kind of impact you're making on the world. Just hashtag replay if you're watching it as a replay, because you matter. You are so important to the world, and we want to know how you are doing that and how we can support you in doing that as well. So definitely share that with us. So as we continue to move this party along, as we keep working through all the things in this show, we want to help you keep networking. And here at Ming Life Motivation, we consider networking a little bit different than other people consider networking. It is not about you going out and shaking hands and rubbing elbows and passing out cards, but more so about you really kind of asking for help. And so the best way to use this platform to ask for help is to ask these experts, because they're like right there for me. These experts here, some really important questions about that. And so the question is, who should you surround yourself when living to create impact on the world? So who should you surround yourself with is the question, right? So as we're going out and we're collecting people in our networking opportunities, who should people surround themselves with? Anyone want to go first?
I want to go.
Okay, go.
I'm going to go because to me, it's simple. It's a matter of really those people who can, one, complement what you do. Like they're your power partners for obvious reasons. If you are, like, for instance, I do the health and nutrition part with people. So I'm always wanting to collaborate with the people who do the physical, because while I could do the physical, it's not my zone of genius. So I really would like strong partners who make the energy of creating a person who's more healthful and more healthy valid, because they're the expert at moving their bodies, therefore, and I'm the expert at feeding their bodies. So those are two of the big things that really help a person, quote, in my world, be healthy, as an example. Of course, Monica's been joking about me like wanting to talk to Nook, because I really am about people also understanding money. It's not something to be afraid of. If anything, understanding it as a tool that is one of these fluidity things that help you pass through life and make an impact. It's a mindset shift, right? And so, as Monica intimated, nope, I'm like, oh, girl, we got to talk, because you work from this space of, oh no, we need to have this money mindset. And of course, in particular with women, it's so not taught. So for me, this to have impact, you need a collaborative, you need a group of people that do what you don't do and do it really well, so that you are a strong resource for the person who comes to you, because you have the ability to like spread out and like make sure that your client can be serviced in a 360-degree way, not just one way. So I had to go first because I wanted to say that, and I typically let the guests go first. But as you guys talk, I just figured I won't have anything to say. So that's me. I was like, let me go.
He's over here doing this game.
I'll go second.
I'll go second. I strive to surround myself with greatness. My goal is to be the dumbest person in the room, the brokest person in the room, the least talented person in the room, and the least impactful person in the room. Because when you surround yourself with greatness, you're always striving, you're always learning, you're always growing. You can be more impactful, more, whatever you surround yourself with. They say that look at your look at someone's five best friends. That's who they are. That's the economic status they're at. That's where you're at. So if you surround yourself, if you like to be the person that's always the smartest, always the best, and you surround yourself with people that are, less than, in whatever area you want to say that, they don't do as much impact, they don't do as much community service, they don't do as much, then you just kind of are weakening yourself. You're not pushing yourself to be your best. So that's my tip, is be the dumbest person in the room.
Yeah. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay. All right.
For me, it's surrounding myself with really people who are heart-centered, authentic, who has positive energy, who inspire and motivate you, and who's walked the path of life. People who have walked the path of life and is able to prove that they have achieved something beyond what they were given, right? Because we all come from different backgrounds. And, people who have endured pain, whatever trauma we've gone through, they have walked that path. I've learned what they've learned, and they're really willing to share and inspire you and give you what their knowledge, so you don't make the same mistake or you make different mistakes, right? Those are the people that I love surrounding myself with, people that I can learn from, who inspire me, and who's really there, who can have an authentic conversation and really know that they care about me and they want my best interest at heart. It's not someone who are surface level, because that people who are real or people who are not. People who have a real conversation that really tells and share things about them that they want to share, and they're willing to open their heart to share with you. And you get to accept that, right? You get to accept that relationship and build beyond that. So those are the people I surround myself with, people who are truly authentic heart people, not the ones that are only surface level people, and people who have my best interests at heart.
Oh, yeah. Maestro?
All right. Well, I'll add another category then. We've got some great categories of people already out there to add to your network. So a category that I think we haven't addressed yet would be surround yourself with people who believe in you, people who care about you, people who can pick you up when you're having a bad day. Because look, as entrepreneurs, as small business owners, we know there are days when we come home and we're thinking, why do I even do this? Why do I bother? I'm just going to shut it all down and burn it all to the ground tomorrow. Right?
Not the music.
Oh, or is that just me? But we need those people
reading
around
our journals.
Yeah. We need those people around us who are willing just to sit down in the mud with us for a little bit, and then let's play with some mud. Let's put some mud up here. Okay, now, all right, we're done with that, right? So now let's pick ourselves back up. Let's get cleaned up. Let's move on, because we do have a great impact on our communities. We do have a great impact on our clients and our customers. Don't lose sight of that. So having those people who can believe in us, sometimes when we don't believe in ourselves, that would be another category of person that I would want to have in my network.
Well, I'm sure you don't all envy me, as y'all have all taken all the good stuff. But what I will say is that you should absolutely become a talent scout. If you can train yourself to be a talent scout and see things in people that they don't even see in themselves yet, and be around them to encourage them, being able to give back in that way is also really, really useful. It helps you hone in your own leadership skills. It helps you hone in on you being able to be not only being about you, but being about someone else, and also being able to see inspiration in someone else as you see them lean into their amazing abilities that they had no freaking clue about that was in there, or that they didn't even see in themselves. I love being a mirror. And so when Andrea earlier was talking about, I had no idea before this pandemic that I was going to be teaching classes all over the world to people. I was sitting there with her like, yeah, let's make these classes, right? Let's do that. And then when she did it, then I was inspired by the work that she did. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're amazing. And I got to actually see the journey and the growth up close and personal. So I would say, if you could be a talent scout and look for talent in people that they don't even know that they have necessarily, or that they hadn't figured out yet, like Peggy not knowing that she was the headshot strategist before she decided to figure out that she was the headshot strategist, or not knowing that she was the entrepreneur, right? And she loved healthy lifestyle until, hey, I can put all those things together, right? Like being able to see people's journeys in that way. It really can be super inspirational. So I would say surround yourself with people who have talent, who have hidden talents that maybe are even hidden from them. And that will truly help you get them in your network, keep you inspired, keep you motivated, and keep them surrounding you. And you have all that heart-centered love that Nak was talking about, and you have all of that, like, growth mindset, and you just kind of create this whole tribe that really supports you in the biggest, most profound ways. How many of y'all are having such a good time with this conversation? Like, this conversation is super fun.
This rocks.
And to think, a year ago, I was like, oh my God, why am I doing this? And now I'm like, it's Wednesday. I get to hang out with people and talk about fun stuff. And it just so happens to be live streamed on a bunch of platforms. But I get to hang out with people and talk about fun stuff, right? And so this whole thing is really fun for me. But what I will say is we in Mink, I don't know if y'all figured it out yet, but it's get motivated, stay inspired, keep networking. And the last piece is gain knowledge, which is super important, that we don't just sit around and talk for the sake of talking, but that we actually learn something from these conversations. And so how can we gain knowledge? By asking the experts. And since we have some who are in the room with us today, we're going to ask you guys to share. And we will start with our guest this time. I know the last round we were a bit less
generous.
Love that life. But share one tip for expanding impact as an entrepreneur. So one last final thought, last tip, or like as Annie said in the last conference, lightning round, one tip. So one tip for expanding your impact as an entrepreneur, and we'll start with Daniel. You can go first. What is your one tip?
Okay, well, so a couple things come to mind. I'll keep it down to one. So in the category of expanding knowledge, I'm going to say this to also expand your impact. Monica, you mentioned a moment ago, it's time to ask the experts. I'm going to say in your business, to expand your impact, ask your customers, ask your clients. What do they find most valuable about the service or the products that you provide? What would they like to see more of, less of? Ask your customers how you could provide more impact and more value for them in their lives. And then you gain in knowledge as well. So there we go. We'll tie those together.
Love it. Nah, what about you?
Understand their needs. I think for me, it's like, what is it that person really needs? It's not what you sell. Is it what they need? Do they need what you're giving, the value that you're giving to them? It's not about making money. It's about, okay, how am I serving you to give you what you need? And if you see what I can give you that's useful for you, I have your best interest at heart, right? So you can share all those values to them and see what they need. And if what they need is what you have, then it's aligned, then they'll come to you.
Oh yeah, that's great advice. Andrea?
Ooh, one tip. I was like, oh no, I'm running. I need a minute. Well, let's see. I'm sure I can think of something. One tip as an entrepreneur, impact. I'm going to go way far away. I love getting feedback. I love what Knox said. I'm going to say, because I say this a lot, because it's what keeps me engaged as an entrepreneur, is, being curious about your business and your customer so that you're always serving. And you're always in the mindset of an offering that has a quote impact.
So first of all, we're over here laughing.
You had to think about stay curious.
You had to think about stay curious. Really?
Well, I was like, is it appropriate? It's my mantra. I always am like, are you being curious about this?
Anybody that this is your first show watching with us, that's literally Andrea's answer to life is stay curious.
Stay curious.
So we were just laughing. We were like, really?
We looked at each other and was like,
oh my God, what am I going to?
Stay curious.
Oh, I don't know. I guess I got to find a tip that I've never thought of before.
I've never thought of this. Stay curious.
All right, ladies.
We
you guys
love you,
want to be
Andrea.
in Sydney tonight? I don't know.
Okay.
Over here.
Well, it's okay because Peggy's going to give her one answer.
Well, they already took it.
Oh.
I always say ask questions, but I think Daniel kind of beat me to the punch on that. So I'm going to take literally what everybody said, and I'm going to sum this up. So good luck. Good luck following me. I'm going to take everything what everybody said and do all of those things, but most importantly, listen. Because a lot of times we ask questions, we're curious, and we do surveys, but we don't actually listen to what the answer is. We say, "How can I help you?" I'm accused of this. My husband accuses of me this all the time. Like, I didn't ask you to make me breakfast. I was like, well, yeah, but aren't you glad I did? He's like, no, I was planning on having this, or I was planning on going to the gym first, and I was like, you mean I should have listened to your needs, not just imposed your needs on you? I wanted to impact your life. I wanted to make you have a good morning. So I made you this. And we do that in our business all the time. We don't listen. We ask and then we don't listen. So, all right, go ahead. It's all up to you now.
I don't like y'all. The panel's too good today. The group is too good today. You guys said all of the things. But what I will say is, since Andrea already said, ask questions and listen and focus on other people's needs has been said. What I will say is, remember your why. Why are you here? It is not to make money. It is not to be a consumer. It is not to buy lots of things for your children or your fur babies or any of those things. But it is for you to actually truly make an impact to the end user. And so what I will say is, remember your why. And if you can remember your why and you take action on that why on a daily basis, you will create true impact.
Mic drop.
All right.
That was good.
I do have another tip I could throw out.
One. The rule is one,
right.
Daniel.
But it's okay.
It's okay.
It's
Nobody's
okay.
getting this
We'll
tip.
take the bonus tip. What is the bonus tip?
All right, it's a bonus tip. So in terms of gaining knowledge, don't forget to take some time every now and then to develop yourself. Tune into great podcasts like this one. Take a class somewhere. One of my, I would say, a mentor at a distance, because this man had passed away when I started studying him. But Howard Hendricks was a fantastic professor, university professor. And one of the things he always said was, I want my students to drink from a running stream, not a stagnant pool.
Yes. I love that.
So develop yourself. Also, do something to develop yourself.
Love that.
Agreed. Keep learning, for sure. Like, stay curious, as Andrea said. Keep learning.
Good stuff today.
Oh my gosh,
Good
I've
stuff
learned,
today, folks.
Yeah, I've learned so much in the as an entrepreneur than in this short window that I've left my corporate job, and I am learning so much stuff, like how to do summits, how to interviews, and writing my book, and getting interview on TV, and learning about how to click funnels, and all these things that I am like totally expanding my knowledge as an entrepreneur and connection with people. Definitely, it's very important.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So apparently we're doing a good job. At least Yo thinks so off the couch, because she's saying great stuff, such fun. I think it's because we laugh real hard, and I know when we're laughing really hard on the show, then that means other people are chuckling really hard in their house, in their pajamas, and very comfortable, I might add. But before we let y'all go, we want to make sure that everyone knows how to connect with you because you are so awesome. So this is the part of the show where we say announcements, announcements, announcements. So we will start with Daniel. What is happening in your world? How can people stay connected with you? And how can they be a part of the music that you make? Maestro, take it away.
Oh boy. Probably the best place to keep in contact with me, best place to reach out and connect would be through LinkedIn. Look me up on LinkedIn, Daniel Mccrain there. You can find me there. So that'd be a great place to stay in touch.
Awesome. And Nak, what about you?
Well, same LinkedIn, Facebook, healthconsciousentrepreneur.com. On my website, there's a discovery call. You can click on it and find me there.
Awesome. Andrea?
Yes. Well, everyone can find me on LinkedIn is me, Andrea Gortz. On Facebook and Instagram, I'm at Wellbeing and Worth. And on any of those places, you can reach out and do a discovery call with me. And I have a group. It's Wellness and Weight Loss, a 360-degree approach. That is where I really preach my own gospel. And I would love to have as many health aficionados and people looking for some real answers in my group. So come on over and knock on the door, and I'll let you.
Awesome. And Peggy?
I am headshotsbypeggy.com, Headshots by Peggy on all social media platforms, or Peggy Mccarthy. Or you can even find me at the headshotstrategist.com.
Nice. And of course, we have announcements here at Mink Life Motivation because there's always something going on. And that includes today. We have something that if you would like to be a part of, we can have you. So, we do community, we do courses, and we do conferences. Well, guess what? It is that time. It's that time to figure out what is next. And that means it's time to level up, and we are doing that with our conferences. Now, this past weekend, we had the Los Angeles conference, and if you missed it, it's okay. There are playbacks in Workplace. You can join our community to get those. But we also have a Sydney conference starting tonight, and you can see Daniel there as well. And then we have a couple other conferences that are coming up. So we are always looking for speakers who want to be on our platforms. And also, we have passes on sale. You could just go to nextglobalvirtualconference.com and hit that pass. And if you are interested, for the first 10 people who DM me today, I have 10 passes that I can give away to the conference today. So we would love to share those with you. I am pretty sure that I did not update this slide, so it's going to be interesting, y'all. But what I will say is thank you so much to my guests who are here and not listed on this, Nak and Daniel. But also thank you to Peggy and to Andrea for keeping me honest and being on the show with me on a regular basis. Remember that you have the power to activate the vision within. We are here every single week, and we are bringing you these amazing topics so that you can get your life and make it better and have amazing experiences and get all the information so you can get motivated, stay inspired, keep networking, gain knowledge. Remember, sharing is caring. So if someone could hear this conversation and you think it would change their lives, please, please, please hit the share button. But for now, we will see you later. Hopefully, we'll see you tonight. Bye.